Hello YouTubers, welcome to another venture with the Wilds Adventures. Today I actually got a chance. We've had the trailer for about a week now, weekend, so I got a chance to kind of come out and look it over since we made one pull back from the eastern side of the Washington state here to where we live on the western side, roughly about 230 miles give or take. Hit some bumps and bangs, nothing too crazy, but I-90, as you know, if you live here, Snoqualmie Pass, not the best, a little rough. So I wanted to kind of show you some of the things I've noticed since we've picked up the trailer. The PDI was decent, little probably rushed like most of them, so I kind of wanted to walk through and notice some things, point them out to you. So if you're looking for a new trailer, we're going to go over what we bought and kind of some of the things I noticed, at least for now. We'll obviously update more videos in the future as we find stuff, but I kind of want to walk people through like a lot of people do, and kind of give you some heads up for things to look at and what I've either noticed or have I fixed or will be fixing here a little bit later today. So let me flip this camera around and we'll kind of go over it. So here you can see we've got the Jayco Northpoint 310 RTLS. Easy way to remember that: rear living room, triple slide. That's how I remember it. Maybe that's not correct, but that's how I do it. So nothing too crazy, so let's get to it. One of the first things I noticed is down here in the pass-through. Let me crawl in here and see. As here is our slider. Right now I don't have it secure, but with this little stock screw that came with it, it's very chintzy. Let me get over here. You can actually see, sorry, adjust this camera down real quick. Right here is the stock screw. And as we were traveling, I don't know if that shows up in the video. There it is. You can see it was sliding back and forth and scratched it. This screw had come loose from this back panel, but was still in the front panel. And basically was just kind of sliding back and forth and slightly gouged it. So I can fix that with a furniture touch-up pin. Look for a better video in the future. I have some ideas on how I can fix that. Two reasons to fix that. One is it's just obviously a new trailer and you'd want it to look good. But behind here on the Northpoint is the Jayco, basically the Australian branded BPM Pro hub or brain. I've seen some other videos on YouTube where it rocks back and forth and has come dislodged from the wood. It's very kind of chintzy the way they bolted it down with a couple screws. It's kind of heavy, so it kind of does this. I'm not real fond of that, so that's going to be a fix here. Once I figure that out, I'll show you. I have some ideas, and then I have some ideas to fix this. So that was the first thing I noticed when we got home. Let me crawl out and we'll continue our walk around. One of the big things I noticed when we got home, and I don't know if this was the dealer fault or just a rough road, but as you can see, we have a battery here. Not this end of the strap, but the bigger side back here was sticking down through this hole and hanging down here when we got home. And long story short, the battery was just kind of loose to flop around in there. The only probably saving grace is we only had one battery from the dealer. Eventually I'll put another one in. And the cables were relatively thick enough to kind of somewhat hold it in place. So I got to fix that. That's a must-have. Got to fix it before it, bangs around in there. So other than that, you can see the hydraulics for the jacks. Nothing too crazy there. The motor, kind of the hydraulic control unit, pretty basic. Plenty of room. Another thing, we'll walk around here and I'll show you that I found that I am going to fix today. Is on the side skirting here where the frame drops down. You can see there's supposed to be basically 1, 2, 3 screws there. I can't honestly remember if we had 2 here when we left the dealer, but we definitely didn't have this one. I had them put one in and it didn't stay in, so that leads me to believe they probably ran these in with the 1/4 inch, little impact wrench or nut zip driver, and probably stripped them. So I'm going to drill these out just a little bit better, clean up the holes, and I'm just going to put a bolt, lock washer, and a nut behind there, because you can reach up, at least on this one. These ones I might keep screws, depends on the access when I get under there, just so I'll have one good solid point, so it's not doing this as you're driving down the road, because obviously you can see that just with my fingers, that's not going to last long. other than that, oops, hit my head, not used to this trailer. Other than that, not quite anything else I've noticed out of the ordinary. Kind of working through it. The back of the furnace door here, it's a little bent, just it doesn't fit great. I kind of got it fitting, I think you can see, pretty flush now. It's kind of hard to get this in and out and get it flush. I think I have to more or less get this in and then kind of bend it, the bracket back here. Not super stoked with that, but I got it working for now. Kind of continue to walk around here. You can see it's a triple slide, like I said earlier. Nothing too crazy on the 310 for a 2024 model. I guess I should have started that out with. They went to the wide body commercial appliances, so this is just nothing but access to the fridge. Back if you needed it. Looking here at the back, pretty typical for the Northpoint type series. This is what where I bought it at, and I'll give them a shout out. Broadmoor RV and Tri-Cities or Pasco, Washington. They were pretty good to us. Couldn't complain too much about that. I'll be pulling those stickers off obviously because just it'll fade over the paint, and I'm not a big fan of that. But I'll give them a shout out while it's there. Rest of it's pretty standard. They do have the Jayco smart system, flashes all the lights. I'm sure most people can Google that and be familiar with it. The Jayco for if you want a kitchen. I will say, if you're looking at this model, I'll walk through at the inside here with you. This is fabulous if you want an outside kitchen, unless you want an outside kitchen. That was one of the things I settled with on this trailer. It's just me and my wife, and I like it. This is just a bar that goes in, and then your little basically outdoor griddle hangs on it, and you have a quick connect propane point right here. Okay, I'd rather have the sink in the fridge if we're going to do a kitchen, but so I won't be using that. I'll just bring a little pop-up easier one, right? One less thing. But hey, if that's your cup of tea, you can carry the heavy bar and use that, you know, off your propane. Speaking of propane, this model this year has 120 pounds capacity. I'll show you that here. That's really good. That's quite a bit. Capacities for freshwater are 75 gallons. It's a 50-gallon black water tank, and I think it's 80 or 85 gray water. So you'll obviously run out of fresh water before you use your gray water, and definitely on your black tanks. Walking around pretty much like everybody else has said. I like the frameless windows. It's pretty nice this year. Like I said, they went to the wide body. Hence, if you can see it here, you got the drop down frame. Pretty nice. I do want to try to figure out something to do with these hoses. They kind of go up in here for the jacks, and I don't really like how those are kind of hanging down. You can see it's, you know, not real thick here. So I got to probably fiddle with that a little bit just to see how it mounts under here, and then maybe I can tuck these up in there a little bit, you know, open the pass through. You can see, like I said, 120 pounds of propane this year. So if you could see in here real good, which you can't, I have one bottle here, a couple on the other side, so we have 120 pounds of propane. This is where I was saying I could probably, I don't know if you can see with the light, but pull these hoses up that were sticking down. I could probably do something at least a little better with those, just so I'm not probably, you know, likely to catch it on something in the road if I happen to run over something. Over here, let me shut this pass through. You can see the other two 40-pounders, so for the whole 120 pounds total. So it's pretty resilient for boondocking. If you want, I don't know too many people that would necessarily probably boondock in a trailer this size, but you could probably do it. Like others have said, it comes with an inverter. We have two panels up top. I think it's 380, might be 400 watts total for solar in the inverter. Nothing too crazy there. It would probably run 2 batteries and keep those topped up just fine, like my old trailer was roughly. This has the Jayco 5-gallon drinking water. That is only for your ice maker, so I'm told. And then also there's a little spigot inside the trailer for fresh water that provides if you choose to use it with its own separate little water pump. If you're going to use it, trailers are built relatively cheap, as we all know. Things will break. That's why we got the extended warranty, because they're going to break. But if you can see the strap for the fresh water, let me zoom in here. It's nothing super strong. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know, honestly, if you had that full of 5 gallons of water and it's, you know, roughly 45 pounds, give or take, banging around, how much that's probably going to get ripped out or break. I would say it's probably going to eventually fail on you. So my plan is to just get that filled wherever we go if it's available. And if not, we'll just stick with our little Brita water filter that we put on the sink and fill it up and filter it right before we drink it. This one comes with its own built-in water filter here that you can change out, and then I always run one on my hose before it even hits this point, so it'd be double filtered. Probably good enough to drink it, you know, if you had to. And then, you know, we'll try to use the 5-gallon when we can. Nothing crazy. It's got the auto level, 6-point hydraulic auto level on this model. Typical outdoor faucet or shower, whatever you want to call it. All the stuff for winterizing, black tank, white tank, or, you know, city water, and then the holding valves. So nothing too crazy there. But let's go check her out on the inside. It is nice. It does come with the More Ride, one of the things you get on the Northpoint versus like an Eagle. So that's kind of a nice little upgrade. Made a big difference coming from a travel trailer over to the fifth wheel. Jumping inside here, I will tell it, this thing is kind of neat. It's a little weird, I'm still not used to it, but let me rotate you up. I'll show you the ceiling and kind of show you how it works. So if you look right above the main door on this is your Jayco command. You can see I said Jayco and it kind of woke it up, and it's flashing green and blue. So if I say Jayco, all lights, oops, turned off, Jayco, all lights. That's how that works. If you're not familiar with it, you can see, hopefully in here, it is turned on my lights, my accent lights, my ceiling lights, my lights up, basically all the lights inside the trailer. You can do it for inside, outside. There's movie mode, night mode, ton of configurations. It's a little weird to get used to. I have this just temporarily kind of stuck here, only so much, but let me rotate this for you slightly. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with it, that is what you can do with it. So that's all the things you can tell it to do. There is one programmable custom one. Not sure how you do that just yet, haven't figured it out, but I'm sure it's fairly easy, and you can do whatever you want with it. Walking around the rest of the trailer here, you can see we got the tables and chairs. This will lift up, the other side will slide out to about here, give you like a 4-person table if you needed it. There's a hidden storage over there. We've got the seat heated, reclining, massaging, all that good stuff there. You've got pass-through, or I mean, excuse me, not pass-through, but side storage on both sides of the triple fold couch. Makes their bed for supposedly sleep 6 people, so 2 in the main bed, 4 back here. So I guess you could do a family. Definitely you could do 2 adults and 2 kids comfortably. That's pretty big. You've got storage up here, which I'm sure you've seen on other videos, which is great. It's got the hinge thing so it doesn't slam down on you. Super nice. You can see I'm not holding it. Really nice that regard. It's got all these extra lights back here you can turn on. Super nice. Hidden TV. If you want to keep it down, you can use it. You know, you can look out. Got the fireplace. That's a must for my wife. I would have her out in the video like normal, but she's inside relaxing because she was kind of going from old trailer to new trailer today, and it's kind of worn out. We do have the cutting board that flips up, extra countertop. Mostly, I probably wouldn't want to cut it because it's permanently bolted and get all scarred up, but you could use the sink one or just have a little portable one like we do. Has the GE residential appliances with the convection air fryer, microwave, which is really nice. Residential fridge, it gets super cold, works pretty quick on shore power. You can see we got nothing in it because it's new. Oh, it does have a water filter in there for that. So running off of that 5-point Jayco thing in the underpass, you can see here in the sink, you have this faucet is filtered, or fresh water out of that deal. I guess it wouldn't really be filtered, other than the one in the fridge would probably be filtered for your ice slash maker. But so you got fresh filtered water there coming out of that 5-gallon filter thing, and the ice maker is filtered. So I guess in a nutshell, this is probably just fresh filtered water out of the bucket under the underpass, and this is probably another layer of filter for the drinking water, if that makes sense. So if you're using that down there, you're probably good and safe. Down here, if you can see, the back of the coach was here, kitchen was over here, but right down here on the side is the pump for that little system out of the 5-gallon in the pass-through. Plenty of storage inside for the cabinets. One of the things this year with the wide bodies, you went from kind of the coffee bar. A lot of people liked it. We would have kind of liked the coffee bar too. It didn't have it. Like I said, the outdoor kitchen was the one thing I compromised on, and this wasn't a big of compromise to us, but it's very shallow. I'd say, you know, you can see my hand there. I'm not a very big guy, but probably maybe 6 inches in depth. It's wide, so that's nice, but it's not very deep. You do have a little bit more deeper storage up here, but it's very shallow to the shelf. It's only that deep on my finger, like, you know, half an inch. But you have some storage there. Got some coat closets here right when you come in. Fuse panels down at the bottom. Up top, for those of you not familiar with, this is the B&P Pro. You can control your air conditioning, lights, motors, you know, energy. You can look in here and see how much solar you're doing. It's kind of a slide up, slide down Android system, so it takes a little while to get used to it. You can see kind of what I made over the last couple days. There's probably a little glare there. And then home, the B&P Pro app. And then if you're familiar with Android, you hit this and you go like back to the main Android screen. So if you bought one and you're lost, look over here. It looks kind of like a funny little icon. You got the Google, you know, all the music store apps. That I use an iPhone, but I'm familiar enough with Google. You tap that and you go back to your B&P Pro, and you've got all sorts of goodies. Outside temp is here. All sorts of crazy stuff you can do with that. And here's your bathroom. Pretty good size this year. Got your porcelain toilet with the flush. A light, I will say, like a light spray out the back. Like real thin little spray beams, probably about 7 or 8 of them. So kind of helps wash the bowl off. That's kind of nice. Plenty of storage under here. You got cabinet storage, fairly deep here. This is the advantage of having that shallower pantry in the kitchen, is you pick up this space here, so it's kind of a trade-off. And then we're super shallow in the pantry is because the wall's here, so that was kind of the trade-off. Big skylight, shower seat that comes down, holds up to 300 pounds. This is like a plastic here, so it won't rust on you. This is the metal there, and this is all plastic, so it won't rust. But you know, it's that fake rub bronze look. But knobs, plastic, 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 and then the bar is metal. So this is metal. You can hear that. So shouldn't rust too much or have any problems with corrosion. Seems like most of it's plastic. Got the big bay sink here. Kind of nice with the one knob. My wife liked that instead of having to adjust 2. You do have the under counter under the sink, so you got some good room under there for toilet paper. You can see in there, pretty good room for storage. You got the toilet paper holder. Pretty good. It's not the auto opening vent cover fan, but it is the max air fan nonetheless that moves quite a bit of air, which is nice. Moving into the bedroom. This is what the bedroom looks like with the slide out, and I'm just in the doorway right here, so you could come left. You've got, this is a king bed in here. You can cut it down to a queen option. So the mattress is, well, it gives you about 8 inches, and if you pull this up, you know, you got a little overhang, so if you did a queen, you'd have a little bit more room. A couple little nightstands. I wish these were probably a little bit better designed or something. I don't know, because you can't do much with the slide, but it's doable. Got access to the lights, separate kind of zone temperature averaging little sensor, because those are all throughout the trailer. You've got a knob here for security cameras, for the sides or the back, however you choose to do it. You got USB power on both sides of the bed. Got another light control on one side of the bed. And then in here you've got the second AC with the intake there. Intake there. You've got the Wi-Fi because it's right below the wind guard where it has to be. And then 2 AC vents, so it's pretty quiet. Coming through here on the right side as we come in, you got your dresser. You got your little flip up storage under there for keys, or you know, maybe if you're camping and you needed to hide your gun or whatever you may need to hide in there. Little TV, looks like 32 inch. In here you've got your storage. You can see we just have it right now because, like I said, we just got the trailer. It could be washer and dryer prep. You just have to drill and vent the dryer. I would have a professional do that, obviously, because you're going to go out through the side of your coach. We put a couple extra little plastic caps on here with some seals. Tighten those up just in case those leak, so we're not getting it on our clothes. And you can see you've got some power in there. Pretty good size. So if you're not using our washer and dryer, which I don't think most people will, you know, kind of a 50-50 on that, if you will, then you have plenty of room. Flipping into here, sorry, it's a little bit of a mess, but my wife's still kind of planning out what she wants to do. You got pretty deep room there. You got USB, more power. Not sure, maybe a CPAP machine or something you could use, and you know, set it in here where it's a little quieter and just run your hose or whatever you need. But quite a bit of room in there. And then also below you've got some more drawers. These are pretty nice. You can see they're fairly deep. Kind of the soft clothes. I don't know, see if you can catch that on camera. And then this one's the deep one for like dirty laundry. This is probably what we'll use that for. Typically on our old coach we would put it under the bed, honestly, like probably a lot of people did, and that's kind of a hassle to, you know, just lift it up and down, lift it up and down, lift it up and down to get your stuff in and out. So by having this over here, we can use that. Plenty of storage, plenty of storage, plenty of storage, plenty of storage for 2 people. Let's see if I can catch that. So we have some carpets under here now that we use, and then you can see in here, that's still going up a little bit, but you've got quite a bit of storage since we don't have anything in there. Now the Northpoint did come with 4 chairs, excuse me. We've used 2. There's a couple, I'd say a little bit less quality than the 2 that you probably sit in if you're a couple. They're folders, kind of hideaways. The fabric matches, but they're not the most comfortable. They're like the plastic picnic tables you might have used at an office party. Kind of sit upright, not real comfortable, but you know, if you were there for 10-15 minutes a couple times a day with some kids, you know, they'd be just fine. But they go in here and they're relatively heavy. I'd say probably 25 to 30 pounds for both of them. So we just take them out. We're going to store them in our garage, and just, you know, if we ever sell the coach or trade it in for something, we'll just obviously put them back. So that's our plan. So we have plenty of under-room storage. Windows open on both sides, which is nice. You got the light control USB on both sides of tables. And then you've got a window over your head there. You can leave closed, but you can get some ventilation in there. All in all, it's a good layout. It's pretty big in here. You can see I can turn around with my arm all the way out right by the edge of the bed. I'm about 5'8", 5'9", and I didn't hit the TV, so you can see, I don't know if you can see that in the video, I'm right at the edge of the bed, just barely brushing against it. So pretty good room. I'd say you got 3.5, 4 feet between the bed and the counter. Where the wardrobe side is, you've got a good almost probably 20 inches there. So if you're the type of person that wants the room, you'll want to come over here, turn around, you know, you got a decent amount of room to get in and out of bed. This side will be tighter, but you got the light, so pick your poison. Always compromises, as they say. And then yeah, so I'll turn you around, kind of go out here. That's down the stairs. Typical layout for a rear living room. Like we said, we discussed the shower. Got some more storage up there. Got your clock, ceiling fan. Below it, you have a shoe storage. Right here, you've got the central vacuum on this model, so you can sweep all your crumbs or dirt or sand that, you know, obviously we know you can never keep out. push that up with your foot and then shoop, and zips it in right there. And that also does have one in the right forward pass-through section. There is a central vac hookup, which is super nice, so you can vacuum that up every once in a while, or you know, vacuum your carpets before you put them back in the trailer, whatever you need. So that's super nice. Other than that, I think that's a pretty standard quick down and dirty walkthrough. I'm going to fix those few things I pointed out earlier, and then I'll make another video for kind of how I secure that inner slider pass-through and the B&P Pro little command center or module inside there once I figure that out. And then I'll fix the battery and tighten that up. So nothing too crazy. It's quick down and dirty for our, like I said, our first initial. Just pulled it back a couple 100 miles last weekend. Didn't get a chance to use the camper yet, but that's our first kind of walkthrough, if you will. We had a couple other videos that we were going to post up here when we get a chance, but thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Wilds Adventures.